Hurricane Matthew barrels toward the Florida coast and could get even stronger. We'll have the latest on Matthew's track coming up.
A Kentucky family living in Florida preparing for their first hurricane.
A Southern Kentucky police chief tells us that he feels lucky to be alive today after what happened during a high-speed chase in Whitley County.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Welcome to WKYT News at 5. It is being called the worst case scenario for Florida, perhaps unprecedented. Hurricane Matthew headed for the east coast of the United States. Millions of people are under evacuation orders from Florida to South Carolina.
This is the scene now on Interstate 75 there in southern Georgia as people try to escape this massive storm. It is gridlock. We begin our top story team coverage now with WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey, who is tracking Hurricane Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew very close to Freeport in the Bahamas as of right now. It is just to the south, and it is working its way toward the northwest on a steady pace right now. Destination with the east coast of Florida, likely making landfall sometime midnight or after as of right now. And from there, it may just hug the coast all the way toward Savannah and the Hilton Head area. Noticing over the past little bit, we've had this eye that is getting a little smaller, and sometimes that's a sign that a hurricane is beginning to increase a little bit. Still a Cat 4, 140 miles per hour. Look at all those feeder bands of intense showers and thunderstorms working inland, spiraling around that eye of Matthew. 3D Defender, and picking up on those spiraling bands of thunderstorms into the Miami area, all the way into parts of Daytona. Now we put it in motion. Notice how that eye continues to shrink just a little bit, and you can see how tall those storms are building right around that eye, as it is just a little better than 100 miles off the coast now of Florida. And again, it's working toward the northwest. It may eventually have a little more of a northwesterly turn, and the track of that continues to take it toward Fort Pierce, Melbourne, and toward Daytona as a Category 4, and then somewhat weakening a little bit down to a Category 3, 2, and then a 1 as it continues to hug the coast all the way toward Charleston, South Carolina. Check this out. This is a future radar. This is a computer model, and watch how the eye of that storm gets very, very close to the Fort Pierce area, and then boom, between midnight and 1 a.m., West Palm up toward Fort Pierce. At least this particular model says that's where it thinks the eye is going to go. And then by 5 tomorrow morning, the eye is slowly working its way toward the north, toward Melbourne and the Daytona Beach area. That would be one of the worst case scenarios. You get that eye just bordering or right on shore, part of it over water, part of it over land. Boy, that would just absolutely demolish the East Coast. Around here, guys, weather is very, very nice, though we do have changes working in for the weekend. We'll continue to track Matthew and focus on the changes for our weekend forecast when I come back in a little more than 10 minutes.
Chris, thank you. The president has already declared a state of emergency in Florida, and people there are preparing for the most dangerous storm to hit the state in many, many years. Scott McLean continues our team coverage.
This storm will kill you. Time is running out. We don't have that much time left.
Florida Governor Rick Scott is not messing around. Neither is Hurricane Matthew. The Category 4 hurricane has already killed more than 100 people in the Caribbean, most in Haiti. Today, it's barreling through the Bahamas, packing sustained winds of 140 miles per hour. Its next stop is the Florida coast, expected to make landfall early Friday.
There are no excuses. You need to leave. Evacuate, evacuate, evacuate.
2 million people in Matthew's path are being told to get out of the way. It's the largest mandatory evacuation since Superstorm Sandy in 2012. Officials are warning people the hurricane could destroy homes and cut power to millions, possibly for days, and first responders may not be there to help.
We're not going to be able to save you. There's a point in time where we're going to have to cease services because it'll be putting the first responders' lives in danger just to get to the call.
If they haven't left already, people up and down the coast are preparing for what's to come, leaving bare shelves at grocery stores and long lines at gas stations.
It is time to be 100% prepared. I'm just preparing to having all the fuel that I need for at least a week.
Coastal counties in Georgia are being evacuated today. And in South Carolina, Governor Nikki Haley says 250,000 people have gone inland so far, and another 200,000 could leave today. Airports in Fort Lauderdale and Miami have closed. Thousands of flights have been canceled ahead of the monster storm, and National Guard troops are standing by, bracing for the worst, but still hoping it won't come. I'm Scott McLean reporting.
Hurricane Matthew has already devastated parts of the Caribbean, including hard-hit Haiti. The storm has already been blamed for 108 deaths. The hurricane roared across the tip of the peninsula, but authorities have struggled to reach people in the most remote areas. In the town of Jeremy, people were cooking and sleeping outside because most houses were either knocked down or severely damaged, and similar scenes were reported across the coastal towns of the South.
One family from Kentucky that recently moved to Florida is already rethinking their decision to move there. Crystal Doherty and her family live just outside the evacuation zone, but they're preparing for flooding and high winds. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner talked to Crystal about her preparations.
It's very surreal. It's like this is really happening.
A Kentucky girl moved to Florida just a couple months ago, and already she's saying it's not like home.
You know, oh my gosh, did I make the right choice moving here? And you know, what we have is sporadic tornadoes in Kentucky, and here we have a hurricane that could just cause devastation for miles and miles.
Crystal Doherty says moving to Florida was just in her heart. Now she and her family living in Port St. Lucie are getting set for the first major hurricane to come at the U.S. in a decade.
No, we're not in the evacuation zone. The immediate ones that they want to evacuate is the ones who live in mobile homes or are living right along the coastline. I am on the coastline, but I'm about 45 minutes back.
And 45 minutes back, she says, they're fully expecting flooding and high winds. They've prepped for that. All windows are boarded up after a trip to the local Home Depot.
It was like Christmas time at the mall. They were sold out, and we had to go to a few different places. It was very surreal. Traffic is backed up at the gas pumps.
Doherty and her family drove back into town Thursday afternoon just to stretch their legs before weathering the storm, but most stores were already closed.
We'll have some board games and just try to keep everybody's mind occupied and praying.
Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Tough situation. The Doherty family has downloaded apps on their phones to keep up with local news just in case they lose power later tonight. Now, with the hurricane quickly approaching Florida's coastline, theme parks in the state announced that they were closing today. Walt Disney World and Universal Studios, this is pretty rare, both officially closed just a few minutes ago. Coming up on WKYT News at 6, you'll hear from a Central Kentucky family that was visiting Disney World and is now stranded in Florida and will ride out the storm at the resort.
Hundreds of flights at airports across the country have already canceled flights because of Hurricane Matthew. And here in Kentucky, some people are also having to change travel plans. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is at Lexington's Bluegrass Airport talking to travelers.
It is a busy time at Bluegrass Airport.
October is actually one of our busiest travel months of the year. There's a lot going on both here in Lexington and in other cities, and of course fall break has an impact as well.
In the midst of that, keeping a close eye on the developments with Hurricane Matthew. Right now, the only direct impact to Lexington is flights in and out of Orlando and Fort Lauderdale. Those are both direct flights from Bluegrass. At this point, spokeswoman Amy Cottle says 2 flights were halted today, and the schedule for tomorrow already has 1 cancellation.
Cottle says while those are the only flights impacted here at Bluegrass Airport, it is likely that more travelers will see some type of impact at some point along their trip.
Most of our flights go to hub cities that are not necessarily on the coast, and so those cities won't be affected. However, if you're connecting to one of those cities, then you certainly might be impacted. So most likely you'd be fine with your flight from Lexington, but if you're going to a hub city, you might see an impact on the next flight.
Travelers headed out of Lexington with a connection along the East Coast, hoping to get out ahead of it all.
Because Charlotte is on the East Coast, and so we've been a little concerned, but it looks like it won't be up that far by the time we fly out.
Mark Miner hoping for a smooth trip to his destination of Germany. However, as he looks at the images of Hurricane Matthew, his main concern is not necessarily on his flight.
And I'm also concerned about the people whose lives have been hurt.
In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
If you are planning to travel in the next few days, airport officials say it is best to visit the website of the airline you're traveling and check their specific travel advisories.
For the very latest on Hurricane Matthew, check out our coverage on WKYT.com or on the WKYT News app. You can download it for free on the app or Google Play stores.
A Southern Kentucky man led police on a chase that officers say put them in harm's way. It happened Wednesday in Whitley County. WKYT's Phil Pendleton tells us how the events turned dangerous for police and others.
This all started Wednesday afternoon as police say they were investigating a burglary on nearby Kentucky 204. That's when a suspicious truck pulled up and then quickly turned around and took off. That's when the chase started. It ended here on Log Cabin Road. The truck had no license plates or taillights and its bed was missing. Police were suspicious and tried to stop him, but he wouldn't stop. In fact, the chief says that he quickly sped up to speeds of more than 70 miles an hour on the windy road that has a limit of 25. He turned onto Log Cabin Road, which makes a loop, and Chief Wayne Bird and a detective set up a roadblock on one end. Another driver was stopped in the road, basically trapped, nowhere to go. And that's when police say the suspect, 24-year-old Brandon Stinnett, came at them full force and at full speed.
So I discharged 3 rounds from my firearm, striking the vehicle once. The vehicle changed directions a little bit, continued about 365 feet, hit a tree just feet from where the lady in the vehicle was parked.
Now, Stinnett is facing multiple counts of attempted murder of a police officer and attempted murder. More on what police say may have been behind his actions coming up at 6 o'clock. But for now, in Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Police say the driver in the car was not hurt. They say a woman was in the truck with Stinnett. She begged him to let her out, but he wouldn't. She was treated for injuries at Baptist Health in Corbin.
Vice presidential candidate Mike Pence saying that Donald Trump no longer wants to ban Muslims from the U.S. The story coming up in 10 minutes.
And later in Better Living, find out some activities that are not only healthy but fun as well.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Hey, it's a beautiful day in the Bluegrass State yet again. A lot of temperatures, upper 70s, low 80s, most areas, mix of sun and some clouds out there. Far cry from what our friends and neighbors are going through across the southeastern seaboard. Let's get into local weather before we get you caught up on the latest on Hurricane Matthew. Defender Radar Network is calm. It is clear across central and eastern Kentucky. We've seen this view for a few days. We'll see it for another day or so. And really, rain chances over the next week, very, very low. I could see a shower eastern Kentucky tomorrow, maybe again Saturday morning, but all the action right now is out across the Plain States, and you would think that with a big cold front heading our way that is separating warm air from wintertime, it's snowing right now in Valentine, Nebraska, and yet you've got a tornado warning into areas southeast of Wichita. So that's a clash of the seasons. But you've got a hurricane. You've got 2 hurricanes, by the way. You've got Matthew, and then Nicole is behind that, not forecast to impact land. But that's kind of keeping the weather stuck right now. And tropical systems can really, really back up the pattern. 78-ish for a high temperature tomorrow, 50s in the morning. Hour-by-hour forecast. New numbers are in. 60s by 11 o'clock, mid-50s early tomorrow morning. Eastern Kentucky, you've got a chance for a shower. And look at that noon temperature. Low 60s northeastern Kentucky. Most everybody tomorrow 75 to 80 for a high temperature. We go into Saturday morning. Cold front is on top of the area. We will wake up to some clouds. Winds are going to be gusty. You may have some gusts 25, 30 miles an hour. And then the sun comes out. Temperatures drop quickly as we go into early Saturday evening. Commonwealth Stadium on Saturday, 60s at kickoff. 50s as we go into halftime and the second half. We roll into Sunday, low 40s to begin the day. How about low and mid 60s into the afternoon, plenty of sunshine. Very latest on our hurricane, and there you go. You see the eye wall, and that eye is getting smaller. And that's a bad thing because that means it's trying to tighten up on us a little bit. And I'm noticing the eye wall is trying to wrap those thunderstorms completely around the eye. So we may see this ramp up a little bit more before it impacts the east coast of Florida. And again, Hurricane Center forecasting this as a Category 4 and then 3 and then 2 and then 1. It'll lose a little steam the farther north that it gets, and it's going to do a loop. So look at the forecast on this. It goes up, it comes back toward the Bahamas and may impact Florida again as we go into later this weekend. Early next week, I should say. Here's a brand new hurricane model that is out with the eye of the storm that goes right on top of the coast, and then it heads directly up the coast toward Daytona and toward the Jacksonville area, where, by the way, you're going to get a tremendous amount of storm surge in a setup like this. I was reading a statement from the Weather Service down in Jacksonville saying that this is a worst-case scenario for the maximum storm surge in that particular area. And that's an area of the country, guys, that does not get a lot of hurricane hits. You think, okay, it's Florida, but you got the little bend there. And, you know, you got land that's kind of jetting out ahead of that kind of takes the brunt of some of those storms. Around here, no direct impact from that, but it does turn cooler this weekend.
It is still incredible to see how massive it is. I think when we put it up behind us and then we see it, it's huge.
Yeah, and you look at that storm, guys. It's a Category 4. If it comes ashore as a Category 4, since 1970, we've only had 3 landfalling Category 4 or 5 hurricanes. Hugo in '89. We had Andrew in '92, and you had Charlie in 2004. Wow. These are rare.
Yeah, okay. Chris, thank you.
Lexington firefighters putting out a house fire this afternoon that they intentionally set. We'll tell you why coming up on WKYT News at 5.
Republican Vice Presidential candidate Governor Mike Pence says he no longer has to speak out against Donald Trump's call to ban all Muslims from entering the U.S.
Well, because it's not Donald Trump's position now. He's made it clear our position is we're going to suspend immigration from countries compromised by terrorism.
Pence expressed differences with Trump before he joined the party's ticket, including on the Muslim ban. 10 months ago, Trump called for a, quote, total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States. At that time, the Indiana governor called the proposal offensive and unconstitutional. The Lexington Fire Department put out a burning house, which is nothing unusual, except this fire was actually intentionally set for fire training purposes. The old house is located off of Old Frankfort Pike. Firefighters set up this controlled environment for training for its 29 new recruits. Fire officials say this exercise is the closest recruits will have to a real-life situation. This training class will hit the streets as full-time firefighters beginning October 17th.
A southern Kentucky woman is accused of slashing another woman's throat. Our county-by-county coverage in County. The McCreary County Voice reports that attack happened on Bill Slavin Road off of US 27 in Whitley City. The paper says 21-year-old Miranda Allen admitted to the attack and said she wasn't sorry. Allen is charged with first-degree assault. The victim is expected to recover. In Franklin County, a mother and son have been indicted after police say they were illegally living in a vacant home. According to the State Journal, LaRonda Ross and her son Charles Jackson were indicted on 1 count each of burglary and possession of a forged instrument, both felonies. Police say neighbors became suspicious after the couple moved into a home in the College Park neighborhood that had been abandoned for 20 years. Police say a family living in California owns the home. There are tax liens on the home, and the squatters knew how to pay those taxes.
Coming up at 5:30, a Kentucky charity is asking for help after the village they partner with in Haiti was destroyed by Hurricane Matthew. It is time now for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. You want to stay healthy, but there are days when you can't run another step, and the thought of sweating it at the gym leaves you cold. Well, there are plenty of alternative activities that can get your heart rate up and give you tons of healthy benefits. Seth Kovar explains in today's Health Minute.
You can do them every day, and researchers say they keep health problems at bay. These are some activities that are not only fun, but are beneficial as well. Volunteering. It's more than just the good feeling you get from helping others. According to an American Journal of Public Health study, people who volunteer are better protected against stress. And researchers found those who don't give back as much had a 30% higher risk of dying after a stressful life event. Cooking. Studies show, for the most part, a home-cooked meal is healthier than one from a restaurant. Meals out may contain lots of salt, butter, and oil. A 2014 study in the journal Public Health Nutrition found people who regularly eat at home consume about 130 fewer calories than those who don't. And playing with your pets. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, caring for an animal has been shown to decrease blood pressure and cholesterol levels and take away feelings of loneliness. And that's on top of all the calories you burn taking Spot or Fido for a walk. For today's Health Minute, I'm Seth Kovar.
A warning to parents and others caring for teething children. The Food and Drug Administration is asking caregivers to stop using homeopathic teething tablets and gels. The reason? The FDA is investigating reports of adverse reactions caused by the products, including seizures, breathing problems, and lethargy. No recall has been ordered, but drugstore giant CVS has already pulled all homeopathic teething products from its shelves. One company that makes the tablets, Highlands, says it's cooperating with the investigation, but it's also defending the product on its website, saying the tablets are fully tested for safety. New rules will protect consumers who use prepaid Visa or MasterCards. The cards, similar to debit cards, are popular among those who don't have bank accounts or can't qualify for a credit card, but they often come with extremely high fees and lack basic protections offered to credit card holders. Starting next year, providers must first ensure people can afford the payments before opening a credit card account or increasing a line of credit related to a prepaid card. Cardholders will also have more protection if they lose or have their card stolen. The regulations, which also apply to mobile apps like Google Wallet and PayPal, go into effect in October of 2017. Now, here's what's coming up for you at 5:30.